Hello there guys and welcome back to my channel for yet another Champions League match preview as Chelsea are to take on Atletico Madrid in the second leg at Stamford Bridge tomorrow night. And to discuss all of that, I'm of course, here by myself, but also joined by an Atletico fan, which is, very interesting and very good to have about. We are joined by Miss Kendall Rowan. I'm not actually 100% sure how to pronounce it.
Rowan, perfect the first time. It was good the first time.
Well, see, there you go. We're joined by an Atletico fan. We're going to discuss all things Atletico. Tammy should be joining us once his stream is finished. Maybe a little couple minutes in between there for him to, sort himself. But we should be having that. And yeah, it's a huge game tomorrow coming up for both, sets of teams, really. Obviously, we won the first leg 1-0 in the away leg. Obviously, it was in Bucharest, not in Madrid. You can have all your opinions whether the away goal rule should stand or not. It does. We can't really change it now. I mean, could also have a debate of whether Mason Mount should be suspended for this game. But hey, that's a whole different debate for, later, shall we say. Maybe not a different day. But yeah, we're going to discuss all of that today. Of course, guys, if you're watching this right now, I really do appreciate all of you guys tuning in. So make sure you subscribe. Subscribe to Kendall's channel as well. Check out her Twitter as well. And you might know her of the Football Terrace. So, check those guys out too. All of that is down in the description. But yeah, Kendall, what are you feeling ahead of tomorrow's game? Because obviously the first leg didn't really go your way. And I saw you were on Lewis's stream earlier. And that was obviously before Tuchel's press conference. And he was then specifically asked, how do you think the game will go? And he said, pretty much the same way. He said, yeah, they have Trippier back. Yeah, they have Carrasco back. So they might be a little bit better and more aggressive. But at the end of the day, he still expects a defensive team. I wasn't 100% sure what to believe of him saying that, or what to think of him saying that so publicly. I'm like, won't that, I don't know, cause a kind of, a spite reaction by Simeone? Well, no, definitely not going defensive, but maybe that's also his plan. I don't know. But what are you feeling ahead of the game tomorrow?
Simeone's come out and he said that he's got one mindset and it's to win this game. So I am assuming that he is going to actually set up attacking wise, unless he is doing sort of damage limitation, just wants to try and, defend as well as probably counter attack. I don't really know. He has said that Suarez and Felix are both going to start. So in that way, I'm feeling he probably is going to set up attacking wise, which is great. That's what I would like, because everybody is fit. There is absolutely no injuries in the squad whatsoever, which is so unusual for a team. So we've got no injuries at all. Everybody's fit. So, I don't think it's going to be, like a riveting, amazing game, loads of things happening, because the two coaches are so tactically minded. That's what they're known for. So I don't think, obviously the stream that we did in the first, I said the same thing. I think it's going to be, a couple of goals here and there. I think it's going to be better than the first leg, because just with respects to us, we've got everybody back fit. So there should be more, a little bit more excitement in terms of the players on the pitch. So I'm a little bit more confident going into this leg, but I don't think it's going to be we're not going to run away with it at all. I think Chelsea are, again, tactically very sound, and the defence has been great at the moment. So not overly confident, but I'm more confident that it is going to be better from us this time.
See, that's the interesting thing, because yes, I mean, you are in a better position and arguably we're not. I mean, we're missing Mason Mount, just being our best player of the season so far. We're missing Thiago Silva, although he was already injured for the first leg. So I guess that doesn't really change much. And Jorginho, of course, is suspended as well, who, while some people, like him, he's a bit like Marmite. You could almost say some people love him, some people hate him. He's still been a very important part of our play, especially since Thomas Tuchel joined. Tammy Abraham, yes, he's our top goal scorer, but probably not the biggest effect whether he is available or not. But it is a little bit different. I think what I'm wondering from your perspective, because obviously the first leg, it was 0-0. Now we have that lead in our hands. We're not going to sit there and defend. We're not going to park the bus as such. That's not what Tuchel and Chelsea are going to do. But like you said, we've been so good defensively. I mean, in 14, 13 games, we've conceded 2 goals. One of them was an own goal. So as much as you have better forwards than most of these teams that we've played, still it hasn't really mattered who it was. And Atletico, bar an early mistake from Chelsea, obviously when Chelsea seemed a little bit nervous very early on and almost gifted you a goal or a penalty, and then one cross, which Suarez couldn't really do much with, we kind of kept you to doing absolutely nothing for the entire game. So it will be interesting how we approach it. Will we do the same thing? Just we play our thing and hopefully get another goal? or will we be the more defensive side? That's what I don't know. What do you think you guys would prefer? Us to do the same thing, be aggressive, try to dominate the ball and everything, or do you think it would be better for you if we sat a bit?
I don't think it'll be better if you sat, because as you say, your defence has been so solid and it has been like one of the best in, you know, the Premier League at this point. So if that for us is not ideal, although if depending on how we set up, because I'm expecting a similar formation to a 4-4-2. That's what I'm expecting, because with everybody back, it is normally a back four, and obviously it was a back three the last time. So I am expecting that kind of formation. Maybe if we do pressurise you and you do sit back a little bit, you can't stay fully aware at that intensity for 90 minutes. So at some point, you've got to become complacent and not have that initial focus. So if you do obviously sit back, that is where it's going to become a tactical game, because we're going to have to push forward at those points. If you do attack, I think it'll probably leave you a little bit more open, which is where Carrasco and Llorente can utilise the wings and utilise the space at that point. So that probably will play into our hands a little bit more. So I would rather you not attack though, because then maybe that means we're again going to sit back defensively. So it's honestly, anything could happen in this game. That's why I'm not like, I'm looking forward to it, but I'm not confident, because literally anything could happen between these two sides now. And I think the way you guys played in the first leg, even though, you know, it was a wonder moment of a goal, despite that, I thought, you know, Christensen had a really, really good game. Alonso had a really good game. So I think that it'll be more disappointing for you guys to lose, because, you know, you're already there. You're a step ahead now. All we have to do is just not concede another goal. And I think we can maybe utilise that a little bit more.
Yeah, that's exactly, that's the interesting one, because I weirdly, and I don't really know why I feel this way, because if I think about it logically, I should be more nervous, but I feel quietly confident, mainly because our defense has been so good, and the 0-0 will just do for us. That's why I am weirdly confident. I mean, Mendy has been brilliant in goal. Our back three, even though we're missing our best centre-back, has been brilliant. And even though we're missing Jorginho, I mean, we played against Liverpool. Oh, no, we actually played against them with Jorginho. But against Man United too, okay, they might not be a better team than Atletico. You could argue that they're going forward more potent, though. Okay, that doesn't maybe a debate to be had, but it's at least an argument to be made, shall we say. And we played against them all right, and kept that 0-0. And again, that would be enough tomorrow. So it's an interesting one. But I want to know, have you, since obviously all of your players have come back, have you played a team that on their end usually plays a back three? Because what we've experienced as Chelsea, that a lot of teams, once we play a back three, that they try to copy us, because they like to go man for man when we attack with our five, as in the wing backs and our front three.
Yeah.
So I wonder if, or by you do usually play a back four when everybody's fit. Will you do that against us as well?
I hope so, because that system allows for defensive, because obviously Koke kind of fits into a DM position at that. Then if we play a back four, and Trippier dictates that right hand side with Llorente. So I'm not sure it'll match it unless he decides to go for Carrasco and Trippier's, well, Llorente even. No, because he won't do that, see, because Trippier's back, who probably isn't a wing back, if you will. So I think he probably will stick to a back four, unless he's going to move a couple of players up and maybe play Trippier as a wing back. But I just can't really see him doing that, if I'm honest. I'm just looking at the past few fixtures in the league, and everyone's had a back four that we've played recently. So
tough to call. I mean, didn't Trippier play wing back for England at the World Cup? Pretty sure he did.
Yeah, possibly he did, yeah. God, I can't even remember that now. It feels like 15 years ago.
No, it does feel like ages ago, to be fair.
It does feel like so long ago. But yeah,
so but no, just thinking of it that way.
Yeah, because he hasn't really, that's what I mean, he hasn't really had to fit into that position, because we've just played a back four, so he hasn't really had to play wing back, but he probably could. So if they're going to match it, I wouldn't be surprised if he does play there, and Llorente goes like more of a centre mid, maybe.
Yeah, no, that's the weird thing, because obviously Trippier has certainly played wing back before. It just depends on what Simeone wants. Like, if you were 1-0 up from the first leg, I'd be more convinced that maybe you'd play a 4-3, or a 5, whatever you want to call it. I mean, it's weird anyway. We talk about formations here. Realistically, in the last game, you played about 6-3-1. 2, whatever, or a 7-3 something half the time. Like, you set as deep as anybody could sit, other than maybe the first
Chelsea,
10 minutes.
The first leg was horrendous. It was like literally 6 defenders in the box. I was like, I can't believe this. Well, I could, because I thought that was what was going to happen. I said, like, if you attack, we're just going to sit back, and I knew that. But it was just still so frustrating to watch.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I can imagine it was frustrating to watch for you. It was even frustrating to watch for us, because until that, obviously, Giroud moment of magic, we didn't manage to actually break you down. I mean, we had a couple of moments, but not like a lot of moments where I was like, we should have scored that. We should have scored this. Like, we dominated you. Like, we played, it was like a game of handball, like where you play all around the box, left, right, and try to find a gap. But we never really could, until obviously that moment with Giroud. And, you could argue without VAR, that goal doesn't even stand. So we're in a very different situation then. But how drastically do you think, obviously you have Carrasco back, just to say that Carrasco won't play on Alonso's side. Carrasco will be on the other side. Carrasco is their left wing back. Alonso is our left wing back, so that's not how it works. Anyway, how much of a difference do you think in how potent you are as a team does it make, the fact that Trippier is back, the fact that Carrasco is back, and who else is back? You had someone else out, didn't you? That is now Jimenez as well, obviously. Yeah. Exactly. How much of a difference will that make, do you think?
I think it'll make a huge difference, because it was the formation and the team that we started with when we got so far ahead in the league, and the gap was so big. So Trippier played every single game up until the point he was suspended. So I think it's hugely important, especially creatively, because for me, Lamar doesn't offer the same creative wise as Carrasco does. I mean, Llorente's obviously still been in there, and he's been a provider, but because of the system we've had to play, and that we've had defensive injuries and obviously suspensions with Trippier and Jimenez, he's kind of had to sit as a right wing back, so hasn't been able to offer as much going forward because he hasn't had the chance to. So that everybody back is so important to us in playing the type of football that I would expect us to be playing to win these games. So that is where it's really going to come down to everybody being on their top form. Because I mean, Jimenez has only played, I don't even think he played full 90 against Getafe just at the weekend. So that's where I'm slightly worried in case everybody's not on their A game. Carrasco should be fine. This will be his 4th game that he's played, so he should be absolutely fine. Trippier has played 3 games now, so I mean, everything should be all right in that respect. But yeah, it definitely is going to make a difference in how we play, or it should do at least.
Exactly, and obviously we've touched on this before, and that's the title and the thumbnail of this, like the AC Penitentiary is ready. Like, well, what Lewis and myself and loads of others, like, I've been hyping all these months now. Like, it kind of will feel a little bit like that, I think, because no matter what Chelsea decide to do, really, at the end of the day, it will be about the back three, stopping whatever Suarez and Felix come up with. And Suarez hasn't he not scored a single Champions League goal, and not scored away anywhere in ages as well? Like, hasn't he had a really weird record, but still scored loads of goals in the league?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's him and Messi for the Pichichi Award now, or however you say it, like this season. So, I mean, he's still scoring, but yeah, like, it's very odd. I mean, I don't know his stats specifically, but yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case, because he seems to sometimes just be on form for ages, and then he'll just not score for a while in certain situations. So I wouldn't be surprised if that is the case, to be honest.
It's a weird one. And what about Joao Felix as well? Because obviously he caused us a little bit of trouble. He tried that overhead kick, just didn't do it as well as Giroud, I guess. But he's obviously a player that, and I heard you speak about that on Lewis's channel earlier a little bit, that you fear that he might be one of those players that you might lose, partly due to being in, big financial trouble, as most Spanish teams are, quite frankly.
Yeah.
What do you think of him? Because obviously I don't watch Atletico every week. I usually catch highlights, if that, and maybe watch the big games. When he joined initially, he struggled in his first season, right? But at the start of this season, he was really banging, wasn't he?
Yeah, at the start of the season, I was like, oh, this is his season. Like, this is going to be where we see the talent come out. Because last season, a lot of people who watch Atleti with, like, he doesn't have the desire to succeed. That's what was my opinion. At that time, there's a Spanish phrase, I don't actually know it in Spanish, but it means like he doesn't go for blood, and it means that he just doesn't have the the passion and the ambition to succeed at that, in that sort of situation. And unfortunately, he had two 6-week long injuries, one at the beginning of the season and then one about February time. So, you know, it wasn't looking good for him at the time. And then we signed Suarez, and that the two together at the beginning of the season was just amazing. Like I was like, oh, this is it. Like, this is where we're going to see him. This is where we're going to see him for what he really is, and, you know, prove why we bought him for so much when we were in such financial difficulty at the time. And it's just going to, you know, be worth it in the end. But unfortunately, it just hasn't been. Simeone doesn't seem to want to start him at every game, which for me, a 21-year-old, when you're that sort of talent and you've been bought for a certain amount of money. I mean, I know it's not his fault that was his price tag, but that's an issue, because you're either not going to recoup your money back on him or make any profit at all, because, you know, he's going to be looking for an avenue out, or clubs are going to come in and expect to buy him at less because he hasn't, you know, shown 140 million worth of, you know, skills. Or it's going to be a case of you're going to lose him at a lot lesser price than you paid for, because he's just not your favourite person. And for some reason, Simeone prefers Correa, which I just don't understand. Like, I don't understand why, if you have Joao Felix and Suarez in a team, that you wouldn't play them two together. That just seemed very strange to me, very odd, especially when you're trying to win the league. So I do think probably in the next year, if this carries on, he's just going to stagnate in this current system that we have right now. And it's not because it's defensive. It's just because he's not fitting in for some reason. Simeone doesn't see him fitting into the system that we have, because it means him playing a front two. And for some reason, he prefers Correa in that role, which to me is so bizarre. And every other Atleti fan that I know is like so frustrated with that at this moment. And I would really, really hate to lose him, but it wouldn't surprise me, obviously, with the added financial difficulties and, you know, teams like City, for example, who are looking for Haaland or, you know, a Felix type player. It wouldn't really surprise me if he does go in the next, probably, if not the summer, probably in the next year.
Yeah, it does make sense. I mean, Simeone did kind of confirm as such that Felix will start tomorrow.
Yeah,
same as Suarez. So that's an interesting one, because if you say he isn't also happy with starting him every game, is it a case of he starts him every big game at least, or is it just a bit of a lottery?
Yeah, you know, pretty much every big game he trusts him. So then that just, I don't get that, because why do you trust him in the big games but not in the games where he could probably show even more to himself? Because, you know, like games where you could dominate, like we just played Getafe at the weekend and it was 0-0, and Felix didn't start, it was Correa again, and, you know, Getafe are like 15th in the league, so you should be, for me, that's a game where maybe he wanted to rest Felix for, you know, this game, possibly, maybe that was his case. But prior every other game, I don't know why that front partnership of Felix and Suarez, when it started like that beginning of the season, and they were so clear at the top of the league and it was working and we were seeing the best of Felix, I don't know why you wouldn't just continue with that. Yeah, it's just a very strange situation, very, very frustrating one as well.
It makes sense. I mean, your form was poor before we started playing you, or poor is maybe a bit of an over-exaggeration, but not great, shall we say. And you were kind of starting to kind of lose that gap and that advantage you had in La Liga. And has it picked up significantly since then? Obviously, it's been 2 weeks since then, since we last played you, or maybe 3, I can't remember. It's picked up a little bit, hasn't it? But you're only 4 points clear anymore now. And you don't have games in hand anymore now, do you?
Give me 1 second. Yeah. No, we don't have games in hand. Everyone's played 27 now. So, well, not everybody. I think like Sevilla have played 26. But yeah, pretty much, you know, the top 3 have all played 27 now. So we've lost that game in hand. The advantage that we had over Barcelona, Real Madrid, which is frustrating, because at one point, as I say, we were 12 points clear at the top of the league, and now it's only 4, coming in towards, you know, the very last part of the season, which is, I, honestly, if they bottle it at this point, we've been on top pretty much most of the season, like 90% of the season, if not maybe more. So it'll be ridiculous at this point to let it go, but it's heading that way, because everybody, well, not everybody, but Real and Barcelona's form is better than ours. I think we've won 2, drawn 2, lost 1 in the past 5, and the two teams obviously Real and Barca haven't lost any in the past 5. So we really, really need to get everybody back. But this run of form has again come at a time where injuries have been so rife in the squad, and we've lost a lot of the first team players. So hopefully now everybody's back, it can maybe go to the form that was, you know, the winning form at the start of the season, and hopefully they can pick up from there. Because if Newcastle get relegated and Atletico bottle the league, I just feel like I'll just never watch football again. I just I can't. I'll just find no joy in football at all at that point.
Yeah, no, I see that. I mean, it's weird because Madrid is just like, hope Benzema sorts it out, and half the time he does. I mean, I've never seen a team have more injuries than Real Madrid this season. It's crazy how many injuries they've had. And Barcelona is just Messi plus a bit of Griezmann every now and again. But they bottle it in all the big games other than turning it around against Sevilla. So it's weird how that will go until the end of the season. I guess the Atletico Barca game, there's one to go, isn't there? That's probably quite weak in terms of who wins the league. But coming back to tomorrow's game more so, because is there one player, no matter, well, let's say one player that is likely to start who you haven't been happy with, whether it's this season or recently, that's like, he's going to be like the problem player, you know, he's the one where we're not sure, you know, like for us it was last season Kepa, or, you know, Rudiger at times, or Christensen didn't really play, but when he did, Christensen or Alonso, when these are the players we were like can sometimes be worried about. Who's that player? Who are those players for you?
See, it would be Correa, but if Felix and Suarez are starting, he's not going to start, so that's good. Good news. I can't see him starting unless it's going to be a front 3, which I'm probably assuming it's not going to be. Otherwise, it's probably Hermoso, because obviously we saw against Chelsea, you know, he was part of the issue leading up to Giroud's goal. And for me, sometimes he just switches off. Like, he'll be really, really good defensively, and that one, he'll become complacent for 5 minutes, and that's where the problem starts. So, I mean, I do rate him. I really like him as a player, and I think overall the positives have been far outweigh the negatives. But when he switches off, it causes huge issues, because if he's going to play in the left back position, that's really going to be where you probably will attack again. So that's where I'm concerned about a little bit with him, just hoping he's on his A game and doesn't switch off, as I keep saying, like he did against in the first leg, because we can't afford it this time. And as I keep saying, if we concede again, I know it seems like obvious that if you score another goal, we're going to lose. But in terms of away goals, if we score an away goal and it's 1-1, I'm confident. If we concede again, and obviously then it's 2-0, despite us being away, I think the tie's over at that point, and I don't think we're going to come back at all.
Yeah, I mean, then you'd still need 2 if we go 1-0 up in it. I personally don't see you scoring 2 unless something very crazy happens. Like, obviously, if you go 1-0 up and we chase it and then you hit us on a break, that can happen, right? But in terms of the game going somewhat normally, it's a weird one, because don't you have a proper left back? Like, does Simeone just not like Renan Lodi, or like why is this even a thing to play Hermoso at left back? Like, I know he's not slow, but he's not actually a fullback now, is he?
No, that's what I mean. That's what concerns me a lot. But Lodi at the beginning of the season was playing there, so I don't know. And then he got coronavirus, and obviously the formation had to change a lot. And he just hasn't come back in that position. He hasn't fitted in back in there, even in a back 4. Lodi hasn't come in as the left back. He's come in more as like a left wing back, if he is on there, or left wing, which is again weird. So I don't really know what's changed for Lodi not to be back in that position as he was at the start of the season. Who knows, maybe against Chelsea we'll see it, but I highly doubt it, because Hermoso has been, a solid addition to the defence. So we'll see. As I say, I really genuinely do not know how this is going to go, or how he's going to set up at all, because the formation has been so up and down. Like, it's not been, since the injuries, there hasn't been a solid formation at all. He's switched it up pretty much every game, so
it's a weird one. I mean, you mentioned Renan Lodi being a solid addition. We have another solid addition also for this stream. Mr. The Grand Dam has joined the party. We're going to talk some more Chelsea Atletico. Obviously, Kendall will leave at some point, and then me and Tammy will go into more depth about Chelsea itself. But Tammy, first of all, how are you? Good to see you, bro. And what are you expecting ahead of tomorrow's game before we let Kendall tell us some more about Atletico, really?
Listen. I can't lie to you guys. I'm actually knackered today as well. Like, I'm actually properly knackered. But Atletico Madrid, Tuchel is going to be our air. He's going to absolutely dismantle Simeone. You know them ones. He's going to make sure Simeone is showing levels. He's going to show Simeone, you've been managing Atletico for 11 years, you know. I'll show you don't know your players. But now on the most serious, I'm shitting myself. So, yeah. What we saying? What we saying?
I was feeling the hype there for him, and I was like, "Oh, he actually thinks that this is going to go his way," and then he's like, "No, not really."
No, let's not. I don't lie. I don't tell tales. You know what I mean?
There you go. So what Kendall has basically said is that she expected Atletico to come with a back four now that they have Trippier back and are back from injuries and stuff, which will be interesting. Tammy, just before we get into more Atletico stuff, do you think that will change much for us? Because I was surprised by Tuchel. I'm not sure if you heard the press conference. Tuchel went out there and just said straight up, "No, I'm expecting the same game as last time." Basically saying, "No, they will defend again." They might be a little bit more creative in terms of having Trippier and Carrasco, but essentially he said they're still going to be the same team. I was a bit confused by him saying that so outright in a sense of, well, is that smart? is that smart to say like that? But maybe that's his plan.
The thing with Tuchel is like, he's not... My thing with Tuchel is I feel like he's one of those sort of people that that I hear where you're coming from when he says that, but he's not just going to plan for that. Tuchel doesn't set up shop for one specific style of play. Do you know what I mean? With someone like Frank Lampard, whenever they come in, if something happens, Lampard is going to be like, we're going to do X, Y, and Z. You understand? X, Y, and Z. If plans mess up, then we're screwed. But Tuchel, if things end up being different against Atletico Madrid, he just needs to do a few minor adjustments. You know, I'm coming from. It's like, you know what, Callum, instead of playing at right wing back, you move first slightly further up. Alonso, you drop deeper. Aspilicueta go to right back. We can do all sorts of different things up, and so I'm not really too worried about that. One thing about Tuchel is he doesn't adjust the way he plays to his opponent, and that is why we beat Atletico Madrid the last time. Because true, Atletico is set up with 6 at the back. 6. Can you imagine? Joao Felix was playing left DM. I don't even know what he was doing in that pitch. And then out there doing his own thing, and then you had people different. I know Gimenez is back and some certain individuals are back, but at the end of the day, I'm literally just thinking Tuchel he can say that. It doesn't change anything because he's not going to change off Atletico. Absolutely not. If anyone is going to have to change, it's Atletico, who are going to need to attack us a lot more. They're not going to be able to sit down in their little cubby hole and do all sorts of defending. They can't do that. They can't afford to do it. So, yeah, him saying that don't change nothing, in my opinion. Absolutely nothing. Because Simeone is not going to change up his tactics now. Absolutely not.
It's weird because I feel like it might be a little bit like that Tuchel feels it's easier for us if Atletico come at us a little bit. That he feels that's when we can open them up much easier than if they just sit. Because Tuchel doesn't go into this game saying, I'll just get a 0-0 and go home. He ain't Mourinho. He ain't Simeone. He's not going to go into this trying to get a 0-0. And I feel like maybe it's a little bit of a cheeky attempt that will probably fail, but a cheeky attempt of trying to get Atletico to come out a little bit, even if we don't have Jorginho. Because I just feel like if you come and you're not used to pressing regularly, we'll just play around you. Like Chelsea in the Premier League, we've played so many pressing teams recently. We know how to play pressing teams. As much as, we had a little struggle against Leeds, essentially we were still the better team and just couldn't score our chances. But it's not like we struggled all that much with their press. We dealt with it. So I think that might be Tuchel's idea. Kendall, just to come back to you, do you actually see a press happening at all? Or do you just think we'll sit, try to soak up pressure, and then try to do something on the break? How do you like? My personal opinion, before I give you the stage, I think you'll try for the first 10, 15, get an early goal. If that don't work, you'll retreat until the 70th, 75th, and then go again if it's still 1-0 by that point. I think that will probably be the idea. Yeah,
100%. Because if we attack for the first 10 minutes and we do get a goal, then they're just going to sit back and just do exactly what they did in the first leg and just hope that there's not another moment of, Giroud wonder ball, and just hope that they keep you at bay. I think that means that they'll get a feel of the game, feel where the game's heading, kind of settle into the game a little bit more. If they, go out on the front foot straight away and try not to let you guys concede, because I think that'll be the main goal eventually of the game, not to concede first, which unfortunately in the league has been happening lately. Lately pretty much for the past 2 months we've conceded a lot first. Come back to win 2-1, but this time it's not that easy. It's not, you've already got a goal and it's an away goal, so it's not going to be that easy. I do think just the way Simeone has said, he's got the mindset. The only mindset they've gone to this game is to win, which that concerns me because I think, oh God, like, he's literally just going to be attacker. And he said Suarez and Felix are both starting. So that, again, makes you think he wants to be on the front foot. If not most of the game, pretty much at the start. So I do absolutely agree with you 100%. I think they'll set off on the front foot. And if they get the goal, then they'll just sit back.
Exactly. Like I said, I see it being little bit like that as well. I think Simeone is trying to do a little bit of your prime Mourinho tactics in a press conference, like just seem as confident as ever and try to scare them a little bit. I'm not sure that will necessarily work with Tuchel. It might work on some of the players. I won't even disagree with that. Just hope that Tuchel, makes sure that they aren't bothered by it. But that's what it seemed like when I read the comments by Simeone. It's like, yeah, about time Suarez stops not scoring in the Champions League and stops not scoring away, and we're going into this getting the win. That sounded like Jose all over the shop. Like just make the opponent nervous and just say whatever you need to say to, kind of whatever's necessary. If that makes sense. It's a weird one, but like I said, for me, I think we just have to hold out for the first 10-15. Me and Tammy will go into like a predicted 11 and whatever, and just after Kando has obviously left us here. But I think we'll just have to make sure that happens, and after that, we'll dominate play. Whether we'll manage to get a goal or not, I don't know. I just don't. I honestly, as much as Suarez is brilliant, and as much other than the biting, I actually love Suarez. The funniest thing, I'm not sure whether as an Atletico fan, you see that as well. Do you remember can't remember what half it was, but in the first leg, when Suarez was right in front of Azpilicueta, and he basically jumped forward, kicked Aspi, and then pretended that Aspi kicked him and just was lying on the floor.
He does it all the time, man. Honestly, he's frustrating if you don't have him as a player because he's just so annoying. Like, he's just genuinely the most. I don't like him as a person. Don't get us wrong, but like as a player, he's just when he's not your player, he's just the most annoying person to play against because he is so like cheeky and he has these little tactics that he puts into play, and sometimes it works for him. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes it does. But yeah, I'm saying hopefully, but maybe we'll get a ref that doesn't see through it this time. I don't know.
Well, I'm not sure the last one did, because at least Chelsea fans, we were sat here being very outraged at this referee. I mean, I still to this day don't understand how Mason Mount got booked after a minute, because if anybody fouled him there, it was Aspi. Like, Aspi, it was, the guy. And even Aspi didn't, but I can see why you could argue he tripped him up anyway. And even then, a yellow card is a bit harsh. You could give a free kick. But do you know what I mean? Especially with a lot of the fouls that happened after that in the game, on both sides, though, where he didn't give bookings. So I'm like, what are you doing in the first minute? I know, making an example and everything. Very dodgy. And it's definitely going to be some sort of a disadvantage for Chelsea to not have Mason Mount. More likely and more, what's the word? Yeah, more likely than not, I guess.
That midfield, obviously, without Jorginho and Mason Mount, it helps us hugely because I feel like our midfield is pretty solid. So it helps us, but obviously it doesn't help you guys, especially when you don't really know where goals are going to come from anyway. With your forwards, and then you're missing Mason Mount, who again is one of the most creative and players in your squad at this point. So yeah, I think it's definitely a worry for you guys in that sense. But I said this obviously on the stream that I was just on with Ellie, and like she said, is there any players that you're worried about? And to me, Werner with his pace worries me. Not necessarily his finishing, but
that doesn't worry me
for that. I know, and obviously his finishing doesn't worry me, but with his pace, because that's where we're probably gonna end up having the issues with the pace, because. So that worries me a little bit. If obviously Giroud starts again, I think you probably were on the stream with me when I said he was the one that I was worried about initially. When obviously the start, and I said Giroud before the game. I said Giroud I'm worried about, and obviously I had a good reason to be worried about him because you don't come up like strikers a lot like that in the Liga, which I've said before. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, but I'm a bit, I just don't know how it's going to go at all. I just don't know if the tactics are just going to outweigh each other, and it's not going to be an exciting, riveting game. Like, again, I just think that's probably the way it's going to go.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a tricky one, and that's kind of the beauty of the big games. As much as fans, it gets us nervous, it gets us tensed up. I guess it's kind of that's the fun of football. In the big games when you don't know what's going to happen, and okay, not if you lose it, then it's the worst thing of football. But if you come out on top, then it's the most exciting part of football, really. But Kendall, before I let you go now, would you mind giving me a score prediction? But an honest score prediction, not an Atletico biased one here.
Well, it's going to be Atletico bias anyway, but I've said 2-1 on every other stream that I've been on, so 2-1 Atleti.
2-1 Atleti. Well, that will be Alsao. I'm not a fan of this at all. What is this?
See, I think you're going to score. So I was kind of like being nice in the sense, I think you're going to score, and I was being fair. Then obviously we need to win. So I needed it to be 2-1. Like that's just going to, I need it to be that, obviously, unless it's 2-0, which I highly doubt it's going to be 2-0. So 2-1, I think, is where I'm at right now.
Fair enough. Now, Tammy and I will go into all the details about Chelsea. Kendall, massively appreciate you coming on. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, check out her channel. It's down in the description, as well as the Football Terrace, of course. And of course, if you're new here, also be sure to subscribe to my channel. Big up Zion, by the way. I'll get to your super chat in just a minute. But yeah, Kendall, thank you for coming on. And, well, all the best other than tomorrow.
Yeah, great. Thank you for having me again, though. But I'm looking forward to the game, and we'll probably speak about it after.
Exactly. Take care. See you soon.
Bye, guys.
All right, Tammy. Here we are in the privacy of no opposition fans about now. Now we can do all the waffle we bloody want. Quickly, just because it's been up for a minute already. Zion Super Chat, big up yourself, saying big up to the panel. And rumours saying Chelsea could do a swap deal of Werner for Haaland. Chelsea are desperate to sign him in the summer, but I wouldn't let Werner leave just like that. Before we get into anything about tomorrow, what do you think of it? Would you be okay with the Werner Haaland deal? Obviously, Werner plus money. Let's be honest. Let's not kid ourselves into things. It wouldn't be a straight swap. But what do you make of that?
I mean, I don't think it's going to happen. You know, I mean, I don't think that's one of those situations where I'm just like, literally, at the end of the day, yeah, we can read that. Big up to Zion as well. I know you, man. My guy, my brother, look at you looking all fly in the suit and whatnot with the face mask and all that. I see you, boss. You understand? We see you out here doing your thing. But at the end of the day, I mean, if in a world where that was an option, of course you take that. Of course you take that. Do you know what I mean? If that was actually somewhat realistic, of course you take it. Haaland is a freak of nature, bruv. You understand? Proper freak. Brother out there converting 1 out of every shot, 2 shots on target. How many times do you see that being said? Not too many strikers in world football ever have had conversion rates like Erling Haaland. So, yeah, he could come in and flop. And I think Chelsea and big strikers. How many big strikers have we signed? Have we even signed a big striker, a big money striker that succeeded? I don't think we have. I'm yet to see one that act like Diego Costa was not a big money striker signing. It was like 32 million, 33 million. And then, I mean, Torres flopped. Shevchenko flopped. Morata flopped. I hope Werner doesn't flop. But if we're going to go down...
Even Crespo flopped.
Even Crespo flopped as well. So, Haaland, I don't know how much of a thing. Haaland is different because when we are buying Haaland is at the peak right now. One of the best at his youth age and in world football. You understand? Literally as of right now. So that's just what it is. But at the end of the day, now I hear that. I hear what I'm saying. But if the opportunity actually came round, I would actually do it. Because he's younger than Werner. He's scoring way more goals than Werner probably does. So that's just how it is.
Yeah, I mean, I see that as well. Personally, I mean, people know my opinions on Timo Werner, and it's not even, people keep telling me I have an agenda, and I even see why people think that. My thing is just, I don't see how Haaland and Werner together clicks, unless we stick to a back three, and we play the same system. Because in the front two, I want Havertz next to Haaland. I don't want Werner there, because I don't see if Werner plays there, where do I put Havertz then? And I would certainly prioritize Havertz in the team way above Timo Werner. So unless we stick to this system and play Werner off the left, Havertz off the right, and Haaland up top, I don't see how they can play together, because I don't want Werner on the wing. Hence why I wouldn't be totally against this. And also, we know Werner isn't going to be happy being on the bench. I wouldn't be against it, but I fully agree with you. I don't think it's going to happen. And personally, I agree with what Flyer said. No matter if this Haaland deal happens, there won't be any players involved. I know it's happened a bit more recently where players were involved. The Pjanic are to obviously swap, for example, between Juve and Barcelona. There's been a couple, but in general, these things are super rare in football. And it's kind of a FIFA thing that happens, where you just give them a player and money. That doesn't happen so often in real life football. So the one that I see most likely is probably Tammy, because I think Dortmund would just like a striker. He probably wants out if we sign Haaland. That's the only one that I see actual possibility of being involved in a deal.
One thing, I mean, I hear what you're saying with regards to the deal. For the actual football, I was thinking as well, because with regards to the thing, you're talking about Havertz playing over Werner. Of course he's going to do that. I understand when people talk about genders, bro, dead this thing. Man, them come out talking about dangers and whatnot, telling me that he's got a Ziyech agenda. No. people have specific expectations of specific individuals. Hakim Ziyech had a lot of expectations for him. He was meant to be Mr. Immediate Impact FC. You understand? Coming Spanish, I mean, Moroccan Wizard FC, In-Swinger FC, 35-yard shot FC, and he came in and he stunk up the place. RS smoking shisha in the locker rooms. I know that. He's not done anything effective, so I will criticize him more than others, but that's based on everybody's personal merit. At the end of the day, we want to see Chelsea improve. You understand? That's what it is. But speaking about Werner and Haaland, I see a world where they can coexist because Thomas Tuchel is a big fan of the 4-2-2-2 as well. You understand? And that allows Havertz to play. Now, I don't know who, but that looks like a Haaland, Werner, Mount, Havertz, and then two competent number sixes with two fullbacks that can actually go up and down. You understand? So you might ask me about Callum Hudson-Odoi, but Tuchel has shown us that he will adjust his team according to the position he's going. He will stick to his attacking. You understand? He's not going to start bending over for anybody. He's not going to bend over for Simeone tomorrow as well. By the end of the day, literally, I can see a world where they can coexist. Obviously, if I had to choose between Havertz and Werner as of right now, I'm choosing Havertz every single second of the week. But I can see a situation where they can work off together. Werner playing off Haaland because he has that stature. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I definitely see that, and I know a lot of people think of it like that. I just don't see Haaland as one of the wide tens in a 4-2-2. I just think he's much more suited to be a second striker than he is as a wide 10, especially a wide 10. When
wide 10, Haaland.
Havertz, sorry, my bad.
No, it's more compact in it. That's why it kind of.
Yeah, but it's not like a 4-2-3-1-10. It's wider than that because you have two.
Yeah. It's kind of like with the way the tens are right now with Mount and Havertz. It's kind of like in the 4-3-4-3, something like that. Yeah,
exactly. But I'm not sure. I'd like Havertz there if we have two forwards because that then overcrowds the area where I want Havertz to actually go. If that makes sense.
I hear you. I agree.
Fair. That's
just an option. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it is definitely an option. I mean, at the end of the day, this is really a debate for a whole different day. But Zion for the super chat, big up yourself again. Let's talk about Chelsea Atletico tomorrow. Obviously, we know Thiago Silva is out, our best defender. Big up AC Penitentiary, but still our best defender. Jorginho suspended. Tammy Abraham, our top goal scorer, injured. Not that it matters that much, but stats-wise, he's still our top goal scorer, so you have to mention it. And Mason Mount, the best player of the season, also suspended. Unrightfully so, or wrongfully so, right? Does that affect us drastically? Or do you think whether these four are here or not won't have the most drastic of differences on the outcome tomorrow?
Once again, it affects us in a different way, but I don't think it's so drastic. Do you know where I'm coming from? Because a lot of people, it's kind of like a swap of rules. Because, I was having this conversation with Anita as well on my channel just now. At the end of the day, you lose Jorginho's passing range. You lose a lot of people drag on about the sideways passing, but Atletico might come out pressing tomorrow. That could be something. And those sideways passes get him out of danger. He doesn't beat the press technically. He beats it with his ball striking ability. You understand? His ability to pass, get the ball very quickly and sideways and whatnot. And Mason Mount adds to our counter press. Do you know I'm coming from? It adds to the counter press, brings a lot of energy to the midfield. But when you now look at Havertz and Kante, think about it. It's the same, almost roughly, very, very roughly. If you covered one eye and sort of half closed the other, you could roughly see the similarities in the opposite ends. Kante is one that breaks up play. He has a lot of energy too. He can win the ball. And I would say do the Mason Mount role because the Mason Mount role involves way more and there's no set name. I'm just trying to paint a picture for everyone. At the end of the day, Kante will kind of do that. And when it comes to the press resistance and the good intricate passes in between the lines, Havertz elevates up, improves what Jorginho brings to the pitch. I know they are playing in different positions, but at the end of the day, I don't think, obviously, we're losing Jorginho and Kovacic, Jorginho and Mount, but we have Havertz and Kante. Now, are they going to turn up? That's another thing. You understand? Jorginho and Mount have been relatively one of the more consistent players under Thomas Tuchel. Kante hasn't been the most consistent person at all. Havertz, with what we've seen these last 3 games, he's been doing quite well. You understand? So I'm hoping he comes in properly. So at the end of the day, it's going to be interesting. You know what I mean? We're definitely going to miss them, but we'll have people to change up the game as well. So I'm not too bothered about that being missing.
Exactly. And with that said, we should probably talk about the team that we think we're going to play. I mean, unless you disagree, we're almost definitely going to stick to the same system of a 3-4-2-1. If you say I can't see us changing the back four now, maybe play a 3-4-1-2, maybe, but essentially still the same thing. And realistically, the goalkeeper and the back three are set in stone as well, especially with of course, what's his name, Thiago Silva being out injured. So it's going to be Mendy in goal, Rudiger left centre back, Christensen centre back, Aspi right centre back. Agree?
Yes.
Good. Coming to the DMs, also set in stone. Jorginho is suspended. He's not going to start Billy Gilmore, Kovacic, Kante, right?
It should be set in stone, but Tuchel can be mad in it. You could see him bring in like Reece James could just magically appear in the midfield. Yeah. You see, thing is, we now have a manager that I can't really. I mean, the backline, I think that's bang dotting, and the midfield, Kovacic, Kante, that's pretty dotting. But I'm just throwing out the hypothetical that we could see something. We have the opportunity to see something different. We could. I doubt it. I strongly doubt it. But I just want to mention that as well because that's something we could see. But yeah, Kante, Kovacic for sure in my books, anyways.
Exactly. And by the way, everybody in the chat, big ups yourselves. Leave us your thoughts as well. You know, especially nowadays, just us two. I try to get as many comments up as I can if you leave some sort of reasonable statement. And if you talk with each other, I can't get a full conversation on screen, so that makes it more tricky. If you leave separate statements, see when you're a legend, mate. You're an absolute hero. Another 20 bloody pound donation saying, we'll need a stroke of magic to even beat Madrid because we aren't clinical enough in the final third. I'd rather us lose this game and get knocked out of the Champions League and focus on top four because that's crucial for us. Well, that's an interesting take. That is a very interesting take. I think we're now far enough into the Champions League where it doesn't matter anymore. There's only at maximum, excluding tomorrow, 5 extra games in the Champions League. The final is after the season. So 4 extra games in the Champions League. I think we have a squad big enough to deal with it.
100.
I'm not even saying we're going to go to the final and win the thing. But I'm just saying I need us to go past the round of 16. If we get knocked out in the quarterfinals, so be it. I'm okay with that. But we need to get past this bloody voodoo of going out in the round of 16 every year since bloody 2014, or we're not even in the competition. We need to stop this. Yeah. We need to get us back to European elite, and you need to get into the top 8 at least to be considered that. You can't go out in the last 16 every bloody season and pretend you're one of the biggest clubs in Europe. It don't work like that. So we need to get over that. And what I will say to Zion's comment, we don't need to score. We just don't need to concede, and then we're calm.
I don't want us to concede as well. I mean, penalties, going down to penalties, you're missing Mount, you're missing Jorginho, you understand? I don't even know how that's going to go down. The thing is, Chelsea just do not need to lose tomorrow. That's all it is. We can draw 6-6, we can draw 10-10, we can draw 1-1, whatever scoreline. 10-10. That would be a phenomenal scoreline. But at the end of the day, we can draw. We just cannot afford to lose. Not in any way, shape, or form. Because Atletico would have the goal advantage. So, like you said, man, we don't even need to score. We just need to make sure we keep. It doesn't even have to be a clean sheet. Just make sure if Atletico score 26, you score 26. You understand? That's just how it should be. So, yeah, man. At the end of the day, I don't think we should be jumping out of the Champions League right now. I don't think Zion, because I hear where Zion is coming from. Definitely, I would rather we miss the Champions League and confirm top 4. But I think we have the squad to battle it. You know what I'm saying? We definitely have the squad that can battle it. And this is international break season coming up. You understand? So they're going to have some time to rest, some time to chill. Do you know what I mean? Just there's this game and then the one more game. RIP content creators during that period as well. Let's see how we're going to live. But you get where I'm coming from. So literally, that's just how it is, isn't it? That's just how it is.
Yeah, especially now that with obviously the global situation, some players won't even be going out on international duty. So literally getting 2 weeks off, working on tactics and that. So, you know, at the end of the day, now international season, as you said, it can only be a good thing. But hey, you know, we secured the goalkeeper, the back 3, and we're pretty confident for the midfield too. But for the other 5, it's where I'm not 100% sure. Personally, Reece James start right wing back. There's not a debate to be had here. The most important thing is for us not to concede. A 0-0 for once tomorrow, I would be happy with a 0-0. So make sure you don't concede. So put Reece at right wing back. Whether you play Hudson-Odoi further up the pitch, we'll talk about that in a minute. But for me, Reece starts right wing back, no question about it. And left wing back, I'm not sure. Chilwell had a poor game against Leeds. I don't think as bad as some people said, but a poor game against Leeds. And Atletico had a really good game against Alonso had a really good game against Atletico in the first leg. But that wasn't against Kieran Trippier. Okay, Kieran Trippier's strength isn't pace, fair enough. So that wouldn't be Alonso's biggest issue. But I'm not sure Alonso has the discipline to be on Trippier as much as he needs to be. I don't know. What do you think about that? Would you agree on Reece? And then what about the left side?
I mean, the left side, Chilwell for a £50 million fullback. I know he's playing out of position. I know that he's a confidence individual. He's been very underwhelming. So it's either we go with him or we go with Emerson. I don't think anyone wants to see Emerson playing. So Alonso, the thing is, I think what we should all do is, I need glasses. I'll take them off. All of us should just like that. You understand? Don't even bother about the left-hand side. Don't think about what's going on there. You just keep your eyes closed, and that's what's going to pop off. Do you know where I'm coming from? So that's what that's going to go. As far as the right-hand side is concerned, Reece James will give us a lot more defensively. Do you know where I'm coming from? We're going to give us a lot more defensively. But lacking Jorginho in midfield for me is a bit worrying in the sense that as much as people dragging for sideways passing, it definitely helps up front. And my thing is, Callum Hudson-Odoi for me will give us more attack down from that right-hand side if he plays as a right wing-back. So if Tuchel is Tuchel going to play him there, I think he might do, because obviously he rested him against Leeds. You understand? Werner got rested, Callum Hudson-Odoi got rested. I'm expecting to see those guys back in the team. So I personally will go with Callum Hudson-Odoi. Reece James will obviously be a lot better defensively, and Atletico are going to do a bit more pressing. But Tuchel is not a Mr. Defend merchant. He never has been, he never will be. So I'm just expecting us to actually come out there and try to play football. And if the Tuchel that I know is going to turn up tomorrow, I'm expecting to see Callum Hudson-Odoi, 100%.
At right wing back or just in the team?
Right wing back.
Okay. Because I think, especially because you made a good point with Jorginho missing, I think Reece, as much as he even playing at right wing back, we criticize it at times that he's too safe. But being safe is what keeps you the ball. And if we don't have Jorginho, having an extra player that's super confident in possession, and I'm not saying Hudson-Odoi isn't, but Hudson-Odoi is more forward thinking, and forward players lose the ball more because they try to go past people. Reece won't do that as much. And a big part of why, if we don't concede, why we won't concede is not giving the ball away and getting caught on the break. And I trust Reece with that more than I do Hudson-Odoi, especially now that they have Carrasco back on the left. The left is dangerous. Do you see what I mean?
I hear you, but another thing you also need to put into account is that when you've got Jorginho on the pitch, apart from the fact, see, against Atletico Madrid, you're trying to spread them out, you're trying to take advantage of them pressing you. Do you understand? When it comes to possession, Jorginho, we've always been able to get that pattern. You understand? With Tuchel, at least. Tuchel, he's making all these midfield pivot combinations look competent, which is big up to Tuchel. You understand? So for me, literally, I'm sat here thinking, you know what? True say, Reece James, I hear your point in the fact that he's confident on the ball. He can body some people off. He's good defensively. I mean, Aspilicueta for me on that right-hand side, I would back him against a Carrasco. You understand? I know when people need to tuck in and it's going to be on the edge, it's going to be a different conversation. And I definitely would like to see Callum Hudson-Odoi on the left wing. You understand? Callum on the left wing is electric. That's my favorite position for Callum Hudson-Odoi. That's his best position. Do you know where I'm coming from? But at the end of the day, I'm sitting down here thinking, you know what? Let's actually sit down here and deep it. Okay, sit down here and deep it. We need to make sure that we rush Atletico as often as we can. Reece James is not starting you an attack properly. He's not. Just because that's not what he does. From right wing back, that is. Right wing back. Reece James as a right back, a lot of people are starting to... In fact, let me do some Reece James propaganda. Because a lot of people are starting to disrespect Reece James and like, oh yeah, he's out there being so... Reece James as a right back is absolutely top class. You understand? I even touted, I don't back this anymore, but I called him a generational right back at one point. You understand? Reece James is a very solid right back, but as a right wing back, he doesn't bring enough. I'm willing to sacrifice Callum Hudson-Odoi playing on the left-hand side to get involved with the goals because we've got a Havertz that can play there and actually put someone that can cause issues for Atletico on the right-hand side. You say Carrasco is going to be there. Well, if Carrasco is going up against Reece James, all he needs to do is attack, attack, attack. If he's going up against Callum Hudson-Odoi, he's going to need to do some defending as well, bro. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how the whole situation is. But at the end of the day, any one of them would work. Do you understand? It just depends on what Tuchel feels like setting up as tomorrow.
Exactly. I mean, Tammy just did some Reece James propaganda. Zion came in and did some Tammy propaganda. Cheers for another donation. Saying, everyone big up Tammy. My guy deserves respect. My guy always speaks facts. He's an inspiration to loads of people on social media. Big up, my bro. Respect. Also big up to you, Laurenz. Another great guy. 100. Exactly. See, to both of you guys, big up Tammy, big up Zion. Love you both. I see what you're saying. I definitely see where you're coming from with the Callum thing. I totally see it. I don't know. I'm kind of just in a little bit of a Mourinho mindset for this game where I'm like, we're so good defensively. I'm not even that bothered what we like pushing Carrasco back. If we just defend properly, like we know we can, like we've shown in the last probably 13 games or what it is, we're calm. So I'm not that fussed about how do we create. We create when we can. Just make sure you don't concede. I know it's a bit of a Jose perspective to have, but I think in a knockout game against Atletico, when you have the away goal, I feel like that's the approach you need to have. I agree with you. Tuchel might see it differently, but that's where I'm coming from. That's why I'm like, slap Reece there. And don't worry, I'm still starting Callum, but just not a right wing back, if that makes sense. And on the left, like you say, I don't know. I don't see Emerson starting. I see what you said, but I can't see Tuchel doing that. I don't know. I think it's a 50 between the two. Chilwell had a poor game last time out. Alonso had a good game against Atletico. I don't bloody know. I'm still not a big fan of Alonso. I don't even know what to sit on. But in terms of the front three, before we get to the two wide players, because I kind of know who you'd go. You go Werner and Havertz, I presume. But who would you start up top, or would you go Werner as a striker?
Werner, Giroud, and Havertz is what I'm thinking. One midfielder and then two attackers. That's what I was thinking. That's why I'm not putting Callum Hudson at the left wing back position, because I expect Werner to start. You understand? I'm thinking Tuchel, because once again, Atletico in that game, we had the one striker up against the 6 defenders. Now they're going to need to commit a few more people forward. You understand? The people are going to need to be committed forward, and they're going to want to take advantage, use Werner's pacing behind, use Giroud's ability to hold up the ball nicely for Havertz and Werner to run in behind and play and dance around the Atletico Madrid defense. Because once again, you get very few chances against Atletico Madrid, and I think he's going to do something like that. So that's what my front three would be personally.
That is fair. I would. I know people will come back to the Werner agenda. I wouldn't start Werner. I know he didn't start against Leeds, but that sub appearance doesn't warrant starting.
He was trash. Let me talk about agendas real quick here, because I need to cut in 5 minutes. You understand?
Yeah.
But let me talk about agendas real quick here. Some people. Let me actually go through the comments. I'm not even on the violation thing. Now you've got some people repping Mason Mount in the chat. You've got people repping Havertz in the chat. You've got some people repping, I don't know, Rudiger in the chat, all sorts of different people. I don't rep no one. There's a reason why I don't do that. Because at the end of the day, for me, I want to be able to come at you and tell you that a certain player did not play well. Timo Werner, Hakim Ziyech, Christian Pulisic, all these man, Mason Mount involved, every single one of them against Leeds United were not up to the standard required for Chelsea Football Club. And let's keep it at that. Yeah, you can say certain players missed chances, but you also need to look at all those different things. Now, you're saying Werner will get his. I hear you. My thing is, I'm talking about what I think Tuchel might do, because obviously he rested him. Would I like to see Werner? I mean, who are you going to put there? You're going to put in Hakim Ziyech. I mean, you could put in Hakim Ziyech with Havertz and then Giroud up front and hope that Ziyech does something. You can hope he does something, because that's literally all you can do with Ziyech right now. At least Werner, he's going to do a bit of running around, and you're going to get a few crosses into the box. Maybe Havertz could feed off those. You could see Giroud feeding. At least I know what I know there's a bare minimum of Timo Werner, especially when he has the chance to play around. You understand? If he's going to play off like Giroud, he's not going to play as the lone striker, which is going to let him have more freedom. You get where I'm coming from? So all these different individuals, for me, it's not really about having, oh yeah, Werner, this agendas, that. I don't really call them agendas. I mean, you can't say people have agendas, but true say, there's a reason why I don't rep certain players, because if someone plays bad, I will tell you they play badly. Timo Werner did not do anything to warrant starting against Atletico Madrid tomorrow, but who are we going to play? Do you remember? Are you going to play Hakim Ziyech, who didn't play at any better point? Are you going to play Christian Pulisic, who's built like a breadstick? Absolutely not. So that's just the whole situation, man. Do you know where I'm coming from? Giroud, Timo Havertz. That's what I'm on.
I think Callum, Giroud, Havertz, because I think if we don't have Mason, the only one that shoots from outside the box or around the box is Callum. I think that is important. Get you a corner or two. If you're lucky, get a deflection goal. If you're lucky, get a handball penalty. I think you need it, especially when you're not getting that many chances. You need someone that is willing to shoot. Now, I know Ziyech is, but Ziyech can't even get the bloody ball off the ground, which is the most infuriating thing when Ziyech shoots half the time. That's my stance. Even I would start Giroud. People know I'm not the biggest fan of him, and also partly why I'd go Reece, because Reece's crossing is not ideal for a Werner Havertz striker, but Reece's crossing is good for a Giroud striker, like the type of crosses. They work for Oli. Hence why, because I start Oli, and I know Tammy needs to head off in just a second, we'll round out in just a minute. That's why I think the Reece James whips to Giroud can work. And I've said this multiple times. I don't like Giroud and Werner together. I don't like it, because I think Giroud occupies the space that Werner needs to go into to actually be dangerous, especially when a team doesn't allow him space. I think they kind of occupy each other's space. And in terms of breaking down a low block, which I'm expecting Atletico to be for the majority of the game, Werner is never going to do that. And he doesn't shoot from distance either. Maybe he starts, and maybe it's all different tomorrow and I'm wrong. And I'm telling you guys, nothing would make me more happy than Timo Werner scoring a bloody hat-trick tomorrow. Nothing. But I just don't see it. Hence why I would go Callum, Oli, and Havertz. And you could make a case for Pulisic. I don't think it was that dreadful against Leeds. Not good, I agree. But considering he played a position he's never played, at least he had two really good crosses that Havertz, when he's more used to playing, gets on the end of both of them properly, I think, because they have a better connection then. Because those two crosses were really good in the first half. one thing before I let you go and before we round this out, I want to touch on quickly is Thomas Tuchel's comments in the press conference about the strikers, because he was having none of it. He was having none of it. The journalists were like, yeah, do you think maybe the players aren't getting enough regular game time and that's why they're struggling to be clinical? And he's like, yeah, maybe. But these players need to understand that this is Chelsea Football Club. This is the highest level of football. You don't get 5 or 6 games to start scoring. Because if we put Kepa in goal against Newcastle, we don't say, he hasn't played in 3 months, so it's fine that he had 2 howlers. No, we don't. It's the same as when Christensen came on after half an hour against Spurs for the injured Thiago Silva. We wouldn't have been sat there saying, Christensen hasn't played in 2 months. That's why it's fine that he made 2 howlers and we lost the game. No, you put these players on the pitch and you expect them to perform. Sure, finishing is more difficult than defending. Fair. But we're at the highest level of football. We paid 80 million for Havertz. We paid 50 million for Timo Werner. We paid 60 million for Christian Pulisic. We have World Cup winners in Giroud. Tammy Abraham is a highly rated striker, at least from the youth terms. Had unbelievable scoring records in the Championship for various different clubs. We're not here. We're not Nottingham Forest in 2021, right? They'll be talking about the 90s now. We expect these players to turn up and do something. Yes, of course, we give them a little bit of time when it comes to fitness. But if it's just regular game time, you're not let off that easily. And that's been my issues with Timo Werner all this time. The guy's played, 30 games already this season? And I
don't think it's that many, but yeah, I know what you're He's played a significant chunk. Yeah, he's played a significant chunk for sure.
Yeah, because, we already have 27 league games, plus Champions League, plus...
Right, then, probably bang on then.
So it can't be far off, I think. Regardless... That's where I'm coming from. That's why it triggers me, right? And I love the fact that Tuchel went to I'm not having it. They just need to get it going. And that's why I'm very confident that we will bloody make sure we get Haaland. I'm not confident that we'll get Haaland, but I'm very confident that we'll try to get Haaland, if you see what I'm saying.
He's played in 38 games and he has 19 goal contributions. That's actually decent when you see it,
Of course it is. It's not bad, but it's like the mix of stats and eye test, because by stats,
of course,
Tammy has been good too. Do you know what I mean? By stats, Tammy has been really good.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I definitely hear where you're coming from. I agree with you. 5 of those goals on the Premier League. I'm not going to get deceived. You know what I'm saying? So, 2 against Krasnodar, whatever the hell they were. So, I hear you. I hear you for sure.
Exactly, it's a tough one. Hey, bro, I know you need to head off. All of a sudden, all these people are storming in, so I'm going to keep going for a little minute longer. If Tammy needs to head off, ladies and gentlemen, please be sure to check out his channel. I'll be going for a little bit longer, going to a couple of more for your questions and thoughts from the chat that I'll try to get them involved, because obviously we haven't really gotten to the chat as much as I usually like to do today. So, Tammy, really appreciate you coming on. Just give me a quick score prediction for tomorrow.
I don't know, I don't know, tomorrow, what's gonna happen? I don't know. Maybe Laurenz, what?
You want me to give you mine first?
I want to maybe 2-0 Chelsea.
2-0 Chelsea, come on.
2-0, maybe 2-0 Chelsea. I don't know where that came from. I just said something that came out of my head. Maybe 2-1 Chelsea, 2-1 Chelsea. I'll back it 2-1 Chelsea, yeah.
Fair. I think tomorrow will be the day where we're happy with a 0-0 draw. And I think it won't be fun, but I think tomorrow will just be the day where that happens. We won't have a Giroud overhead kick, and other than that, it will be the exact same game as last time out.
I hear you.
Maybe a 1-1. Wouldn't be surprised by a 1-1 as well.
I would take any draw scoreline, personally.
Obviously. Hey, if we could do a 24-24, why not?
Why not?
50 goals. But bro, again, thank you for coming on again, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't already, be sure to check out Tammy's channel. It's down in the description. Subscribe to him. Help him get to 5,000 subscribers ASAP. It needs to happen. And bro, cheers for coming on. I'll talk to you soon.
In a bit, man, bro.
So, ladies and gentlemen, for a little bit longer, I'm going to go by myself. You haven't seen me by myself on the channel in actually a little while. So, I have Tyrone saying 4-0. You guys are positive. Chelsea boy saying 1-0. Big up yourself, by the way, becoming a member recently. MM19 saying 6-0. You guys are off the bloody charts. Trippier needs to come in form. Fair enough. Obviously, I think you're an Atletico fan. But what tells you Atletico will score? I don't know what tells us Atletico will score. I'm not sure, bro. I'm not 100% sure how that would happen, but I just feel like it will. No, what? I didn't even say that myself. I still think the 0-0 is most likely. Hey, what if we happen here? Nippon, come on, my G. Nippon has become a member. Big up yourself, bro. Big up yourself. 1-0, own goal Atletico. Hey, I'll take it. 3-0 Chelsea. We beat them 2-1. I won't be a draw tomorrow, Laurenz. I'm dreaming. Hey, I hope so. 1-1 after extra time. So you reckon it will be 1-0 Atletico after 90? 1-0 Atletico after 90, and then we'll score to win the game. That'd be exciting, Pat Snow. That'd be exciting. I wouldn't even hate it. Oh, you are alone. First time in ages you hear bro, Yusuf. You just missed it. Damn, he literally left like 2 minutes ago. And Kendall left a bit earlier. For Atletico struggles to score past 10 men Getafe. It's going to be a 0-0, maybe 1-0 Chelsea. Yeah, it could be. I say 0-0 tactics. Hey, bro, I see it. I think we'll go ahead, but we will win 2-1. Fair enough. I think they will go ahead, but we want to win 2-1. Ooh, if Atletico go 1-0 up, I don't see us winning 2-1 in 90, personally. But hey, we'll see. 2-1 for Chelsea. And guys, if you have any other things that you want me to quickly discuss again, or that you mentioned in the chat earlier, which I didn't see, because I was talking to Tammy and everything, drop it in the chat. Slick out. I didn't even do anything different to my hair, to be honest, bro. I don't know what you're talking about. But cheers. But guys, of course, if you're new here, please be sure to subscribe. We're still on the road to 10K subscribers. We're getting very close to 9K now. So make sure you subscribe. If you haven't already, honestly, mean the world. I want to get to 10K before the end of the season, the very, very latest. So make sure you get subscribed. It would honestly mean the world. If you want to support the channel, do use the super chat function. Of course, you don't have to, but it really, helps us out. Maybe at some point we'll get a new better camera and get better camera quality. That's what these super chats, help me towards. And of course, the same goes if you want to become a member. There's a join button underneath. There's also, if you're on phone, there's a link in the description below to become a member. Get all of that done. Nippon with the 1-0 prediction. James, hello, bro. I hope you're good. Nick, I hope you didn't butcher that name, but saying it's Lampard. If Tuchel started the season, Ziyech, Pulisic, Godoy, Werner, Havertz, we'll post the boys. No game lost, decent performances. Not sure about Werner, but the other one's fair. Flyers. I actually missed your time in the previews where you discuss our positions, our form, and the team. It was very direct and to the point. Bro, I see what you're saying. The problem is that I've been told that how YouTube works is you kind of have to make a decision. Do you do videos? Do you do a stream? And you can't really mix your channel between both. I know George Benson does, but hey, George is clear. Big up, George. So that's why I've kind of had to stick to these streams now on my channel. And obviously, I just stopped doing on Blues Fancy. And I won't lie to you. Guys. It's just become a bit monotone. I've been doing previews in a similar style. I've mixed them up a little bit, but I've been doing the previews in a similar style for 3 years, 4 years, every single game. It became a bit tiring. I won't lie to you, bro. Will you be in the Blues Fans TV watch along? Well, Taha, I tell you something. For once, I actually will be. I have never been. But tomorrow, I actually will be on the Blues Fans TV watch along before I do my live review on Blues Fans TV before coming over here for my Player Ratings live stream with CFC Pice and maybe another guest. So there's a lot of streaming happening tomorrow. So definitely get involved. Subscribe, smash the notification bell button on my channel so you don't miss the stream tomorrow. But that's what I'm talking about. GBFC, first Chelsea fan account I watched. Hey, big up yourself, Tyrone. Big up yourself. Sorry for being late. Hey, no problem, Yusuf. You're a legend. You're an absolute legend. For the pinned comment, luckily Flyers was here to take my place. Hey, big up Flyers. Big up Yusuf. Big up both of you. Yes, BFT watch along. I will predict that you will wear the black shirt. Bro, I actually will wear a black shirt. I've thought about it already because I have to make a decision. Do I wear black now or do I wear black tomorrow? Anyways, that's Craig or go on Blues TV. He might do, but I don't know if he'll be about tomorrow. He might do his own watch along. I don't know, bro. I don't know. But guys, if you want me to do a couple of more things that you want me to talk about tomorrow's game, drop it in the chat right now. And I'll talk about it. Again, if you want to use the super chat function, of course, do so. What about Lewis? He won't be streaming live tomorrow. Of course, no, he will. He will, bro. He will. Me and Lewis will be doing the Blues Fans TV watch along together. Maybe one of you or a couple of other people will come on too, but it will be me and Lewis. Don't worry. How can you enjoy a game whilst being on a watch along? You can't concentrate on the game. I don't get it. See, I've had these kind of worries myself. I did one watch along on my channel by myself during the Tuchel's first game in charge, the Wolves game. That wasn't fun. It was a 0-0 game by myself. I had to talk so much, and the problem actually occurred. Couldn't concentrate on the game so much. I did one with Alex for the Chelsea Spurs game with Alex, the Euro expert. That was more fun. You could have a bit of interaction. I could focus on the game while he was talking and stuff. So it was fine. On Blues Fans TV tomorrow will be more people. It will be good. Don't worry. It will be good. We'll have everything. German words for me to never forget it. I don't know what you're asking from me, bro, to be honest. I found Blues fan TV, then Lewis, then you, Demi, Matisse, Cage, and Filter, and more. Big up yourself, Taha. Big up yourself. Don't do it, bro. If you concentrate on the game, your reviews will be much better. I know. I will. Trust me. I will still concentrate on the game. Do you think Andrew will be in the squad? If not, who else from the academy? I don't know. I mean, we have 12 subs in the Champions League, don't we? So he might be on the bench, but at the end of the day, it won't make much of a difference. He won't come on, even if he's on the bench. Rudiger will be a good manager. He speaks so well. I haven't actually gotten round yet to James's question as well. I haven't gotten round yet to watch the press conference. I haven't quite managed to do that yet because it wasn't broadcasted by Chelsea, so that was a bit disappointing. But guys, you know what I've just seen? We're currently at 86 likes, but we have 157 people watching. So go down below, smash the like button. We only need about 12 more, 88 likes, pardon me. Go down below and smash the like button for me right now. Let's hit 100 likes right now. Come on, big up yourselves. Please do that. That'd be sick. In my opinion, it's way better having your privacy when watching and being comfortable. It's always best to see regular reactions. No one's against you. Oh yeah, for sure. Like I said, I won't be on every watch along with Blues Fans TV. I'm not the biggest fan of watch alongs myself. I tell you this, I'm happy to do it tomorrow because it's a big game and I'm excited. I'll do it with Lewis. We'll have some fun. Me and Lewis are really good friends, guys. So we actually have some fun together. Why do you sound like a Jamaican, bro? I don't know. I'm the opposite of Jamaican. I'm Austrian. English ain't even my first language, so I don't know how that's happened. But what have I seen? Jesse Resk. Not sure if I butchered your name, bro, but big up yourself for subscribing. Come on, guys. Love all of you. Who does on Blues Fans TV with Lewis? I don't know. Some people might come on, but I'm doing it with him tomorrow. You feel Tuchel has a clear plan for Pulisic? Like, why on earth is he playing right wing back? Tuchel isn't keen on him on the left. Yeah, I don't know. See, you also have to think at Dortmund. Pulisic played on the right, even once or twice at right wing back under Tuchel too. Maybe he's not that big of a fan of it. You know what I mean? Maybe he's not that big of a fan of it. Student of the game. I have, if it's the like reaction to Frank getting sacked, Tuchel getting appointed. If it's that video, I have. Don't know what you want from me about it, but hey, big up Jesse Resk. Exactly, that's exactly what I'm thinking. How many likes are we on now, guys? We're hitting the 100, aren't we? Are we not? Come on, 95. 5 more. Go down below, smash the bloody like button for me. Come on. See, as you see down below, if you go down below right now, it's grey. It's this grey button. It's like my hand, because I'm a white motherfucker. Shouldn't have said that. Don't demonetize me, YouTube, please. Anyway, it's like white, grey, but if you click it, it turns bloody blue. It turns bloody blue. Can you say, hello, guys, welcome back to Blues Fans TV right now? No, because we're not a Blues Fans TV. I will do it tomorrow, bro. You surprised me speaking English like a native. Do Austrians usually know English? This is an interesting question, Yusuf. See, it's some more personal shit. Let's do it. Well, Austria, first of all, big up Austria. Very good education system. We do have a very good education system. So we learn English from the age of 8. Well, depend now even earlier, now from the age of 6. So you learn it in school. No, I didn't, Tyrone. But we learn it in school, right? But what I did is when I was 16, I went to Ireland for 6 months to do like a semester abroad, went to school there, lived with an Irish family and stuff. So that's when my English got like really good, even though I had an actually quite a strong North Dublin Irish accent. But then because ever since, 2015 or something, I've been talking to people from England, from London, on a literally daily basis. I did Chelsea SW6. I did 100% Chelsea. I did, my channel. I did Blues Fan TV. And all of these guys, Lewis, Sammy, so many guys that I'm really good friends with. I speak to them on a daily basis. Plus, obviously TV shows, films, YouTube. I speak English. And even to my girlfriend who's Swiss, even though she speaks German, we speak English more than we speak German. So, yeah, my English is pretty much native, as close as it gets. Do you live in London? No, bro, I don't actually. I live in Austria, Innsbruck, Austria. I still do. I mean, the plan was for me to go to London to finish uni, as in to do my master's degree in London. But hey, Brexit happens. The global situation has happened. Made it a bit more tricky financially and on very other aspects. Yeah, she is Swiss. Yeah, exactly. Long distance and that. That's why you don't always see her in the background. Whenever she's about, she is in the background. She'll move here eventually, hopefully sooner rather than later. Let's see. Hopefully the global situation allows it. But yeah, she's Swiss, about 4 hours by train away. You should get Melina on a live stream for a debate. I might do one day. bro. I might do one day. To be honest, who could dislike a stream where people could chat to you? See, bro, I don't know. Maybe it's because I didn't read their comments. Maybe it's because I didn't read their comments. So Swiss and Austrians are close friends. I mean, yeah, we get on. We definitely get on. See, Austria and Germany, where it's a bit of a rivalry. It's a bit like Ireland and England kind of thing. But Austria, Switzerland, yeah, we get on. We get on. Swiss Germany's messed up. No wonder you speak English with her. No, I understand her fine, but it's just, I don't know. Obviously, at the start when we started talking, how long have I been talking to her now? Since the day before the Europa League final. She actually, my girlfriend, I'll tell you this, guys, bit of a story for you guys now. My girlfriend went to Baku to the Europa League final of Chelsea against Arsenal by herself. She's a mad one. She's a mad one. I was trying to go, but then I couldn't find anybody to go with, and I didn't want to go by myself. Do you know what I mean? So that's why I didn't go. And she just went by herself. She's a mad one. Big up you. Big up you, Melly. Love you. Why you like Chelsea to buy Alaba because he's Austrian? Would you or would you? Actually, no. Because as a centre-back, I don't think, unless we stick to a back three, then yes. But even then, his wages are a bit high, plus agent fees and all of that. But in a back four, him and Thiago Silva are too short together. I don't rate him so highly as a DM because I've seen that for Austria and I'm not a big fan of it. And as a left back, I mean, okay, we've struggled a little bit with Chilwell recently, fair enough, but I still don't think he's quite there anymore. Rants and pants. Fair enough. I mean, obviously, you're not the real account, but hey, fair enough. Please go easy on Werner. He'll come good with time. Hey, hopefully, Michael. Hopefully. Why didn't I go with her? Yeah, because I didn't know her then, bro. I didn't know her at the time. We spoke a couple of times on the DMs and that. She slid into mine. Hey, this is public, right? She slid into mine. I didn't slide into hers. This is true, by the way. Anyway, we just started talking properly when she was in Baku, and I saw her story, and I was like, bro, are you in Baku? So then we started talking, and ever since then, spoke every day. But yeah, as far as I know, Danish, Swiss, Austrian, Germany, along with Norwegian, got language similarities. I'm not sure about Danish. I've been to Denmark a couple of times. Love Denmark, sick country. But Swiss, obviously, the Swiss speak German as well. Obviously, they have the French and Italian parts, no similarities there. But obviously, they have the German-speaking part. Austria is all German-speaking. Germany, obviously, German-speaking. And then there's a similarity to Dutch. Dutch is basically a mix of English and German. That's what Dutch is. That's the language. Norwegian, I don't know. I don't know about that one, bro. Spamming kisses. Spamming kisses. Hey, fair enough. Haaland and Chelsea, come on, that's what I like to see. I do play FIFA, but not really anymore that much. Not really anymore that much. It's just FIFA 21's dead. FIFA 20 was already dead. Me and my mate usually share an account. Don't tell EA, but we usually, share the account and both play on it and shit. But anyway, especially this year where you could play with different consoles and shit. I couldn't speak to Haaland. I mean, I could because I presume he speaks decent German because he played in Austria, he plays in Germany, and he's fluent in English. So I could speak to him, but not in Norwegian, bro. Not in Norwegian. How often do you come to the UK to watch Chelsea a season? I presume you're not a member because of geography. No, I am a member. Of course. I'm a member. Otherwise, how do I ever get a ticket? I'm a member. I do pay those £25, £30, whatever it is, every year. Obviously not this season, but because they, paused it. I like the shirt. Is it a fake Chelsea? No, it's just a random Fred Perry shirt. Actually, my girlfriend got me. But anyway, back to Flyers question. So last season, I saw 3 games. I went to Ajax away in the Champions League, and I went to Spurs at home in the league, and I went to the Champions League game against Bayern Munich, where we got battered 3-0 at the Bridge. Those were the 3 games I was at last season. Season before that, I was at a lot of games, actually. Season before that, I was at VD at home in the Europa League, and Southampton away in the Premier League. I was at VD away in Budapest. I was at Prague away in the Europa League. I was at Frankfurt away in the Europa League. Those were all the games I had. The season before that, I was at the FA Cup final against Manchester United and a couple of other games. So usually between 2 and 4/5 games a season. That's usually how many I get. Playing rivals with your friends is so fun. Xbox best console. Nah. Big up PS4. I don't have a PS5, but big up PS4, big up PlayStation. Apart from football, do you like any other sports? I like F1. Bro, I love F1. Right, come on. Where is it? Is it Niki Lauda 1976 car? Or is it 1977? 1975, pardon me. Car. My mate got me that. Got a Ferrari here. I've got, what do I have here for you? Niki Lauda book. Obviously, icon. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Mr. Niki Lauda. I have a Ferrari hat over there. I love Ferrari. I've been to the Monza GP in 2019 when Charles Leclerc won. Honestly, that was probably the craziest thing I've experienced in my life. I love Chelsea, and football is... Actually, I prefer F1 to football, but I prefer Chelsea to F1, if that makes sense. But that was the craziest bit of emotion I've I've experienced in my life. Would you start doing a weekly chatting stream with subs? I guess that will get you to 10k subs quicker. Hey, maybe I will, bro. Maybe I will. Maybe if people like this, this is sick. Because if you remember, you can only go to the bigger games if you have enough points from the smaller games. So are you limited to just smaller games? Now, obviously, first of all, to explain this, I'm part of the Austrian Chelsea Supporters Club. So there is a way to get tickets regardless, like legally, not from touts. Plus, I know a lot of people in England. Someone will always have a spare, someone that buys the tickets and, then in the end can't go and I get tickets. Don't worry. The only game I've not got a ticket to that I tried to go to was the 2017 FA Cup final. And then I didn't know as many people. And in the end, we lost anyway, so I was happy. I was in London for it. I was there because I was at the last Premier League game against Sunderland when we lifted the trophy and John Terry's, goodbye and everything. I do okay. I mean, you probably support Lewis Hamilton, I presume. I like Lewis Hamilton. I like Lewis Hamilton, bro. Trust me. Obviously, I've been a Chelsea fan all of my life. Literally, I've been a Chelsea fan. I meant Ferrari fan. I've been a Ferrari fan for all of my life. My dad tells me I've been running around in a house, in my childhood house, bigging up the Ferrari, the red car, ever since before I could properly speak. So, I'm part Italian as well. Hey, it's in the soul. Oh, bro, I think I might have to block you. You like McLaren? Yeah, I like McLaren as well. Big up Ricciardo. I was a bit disappointed they didn't go to Ferrari, to be honest, although I get it. How are you spending fine? Are you fine with spending loads on flights? See, to be honest, EasyJet goes directly from my town to London, so it's not that deep. You go for like 100 to 150 euros return. Do you know what I mean? It's okay. That's why I usually try to go to 2 games a trip. For example, last year, the last games I've been to was Spurs at home and Bayern at home. Those 2 games were within 4 days. So I went to both games in one trip, if that makes sense. Anyone saying that often? Yeah, no, exactly. All of my life. What did someone say? Someone had a go. Ferrari's midfield at best. No. You need to check a bit of preseason. We're decent now. We saw that the engine a bit. We're okay. I'm hoping we're going to fight for third at least. I don't think we're quite there, but I'm hoping we'll fight for it at least, if that makes sense. Yeah, I heard you lived in the UK for a bit. Did you see CP's photo with Mason when they were young? I did see that. I lived in the UK for a bit, for 3 months back in 2015. But yeah, that's that. Can we give Giroud and Werner to Dortmund and get Haaland? Well, I don't think we'll do that, but I bloody love it. Max is talented, man. Put him in the best car. Max is talented, but I hate him. I hate Max more than I hate Tottenham. I'll tell you that much. I hate Max with every part of my being. That Austria race, 2019 against Leclerc, I was flipping my shit. Anyway, how did you meet the Chelsea players? The Chelsea players that didn't meet was when they were on pre-season tour in Austria. Chelsea have been on pre-season tour in Austria twice. Both times the following season we won the league. So maybe we should be doing that every year. But yeah, in the second time round when they came to Austria in Antonio Conte's first season, it's actually 5 hours away from where I live. But they were in Austria. We went there with a lot of people, a lot of like Austrian supporters club mates. Well, then we met them a couple of days. John Terry's such a legend. I spoke to the guy for like 10, 15 minutes. He's such a legend. Was there like a car launch for McLaren? Not a proper car launch, I don't think, because of the world situation. LV, my man, what's your opinion on Dybala rumors? Dybala is an interesting one, bro. Dybala is an interesting one because he's a good player, but we already have too many players that we don't really fit in our system, and I think Dybala would just be another one of those. Who do you think we will get in the summer? Erling bloody Haaland. Telling you right now. Do you know there is a fantasy F1 game? I do actually. I played it for a season or half a season, then I couldn't be bothered again. It's like with fantasy Premier League. I can't be bothered after a while, and then I forget, and it just annoys me. Do you know what I mean? What do you mean Ferrari are okay? Mark sandbagging. Oh yeah. I'm not saying we're better than Mark, obviously. I'm not saying we're going to win the title by any means. I'm saying we're not going to be as shit as last year, bro. Obviously. Who is the Ferrari of CFC? Huh? Any idea? Who's the Ferrari of CFC? I don't know what that question means. Insane thoughts. I do apologize, bro. Do you know there is a? Oh yeah. Did things just freeze? I hope everything's still working all right, because I haven't really seen a new chat message in a minute. Have we hit 100 likes, by the way? We have. Big up yourselves, guys. Am I the only one that thinks we are set for the next couple of seasons? I can't see us needing more players the way we're playing. Oh, we need Haaland. I tell you that much. Have you seen a Chelsea player? I've seen loads of Chelsea players. I saw pretty much the whole squad back in 2016, bar Hazard, Courtois, and maybe one or two others because they were still after the Euros. They weren't with the squad yet. But I saw John Terry, I saw Gary Cahill, I saw Pedro, Willian, Diego Costa, Antonio Conte, Ivanovic. Bloody hell, worse was there. A lot of the youngsters, do you know what I mean? I like Daniel Ricciardo as well, top guy. Yeah, I love Daniel. He's sick. Will we win the Champions League this year? No. Eventually, maybe yes. Who is the BFTV channel for? I see many people streaming anytime. So I've started streaming live, not premieres. Do you know that? I do know that. Of course I know that. I'm part of it, bro. I do know what's going on. Hey, it's a lot of us. We have a good time. Can't be all of us, innit? You could check Lau's socials to see the players. You might, yeah, come on, Yusuf, my G. See, that's the plug I needed. At Laos 1507. See, if you just look down here, right? Here it says my Twitter. Here it says my Instagram. At Laos 1507 on both platforms. Just type it in, follow me, drop it a follow, why not? And you can see I've posted pictures of most of the players I met. Oh yeah, and I forgot last summer. No, 2 summers ago. Last summer, 2 summers ago. 2 summers ago. So Frank's first season. Chelsea played a friendly game in Austria against Red Bull Salzburg when Pedro scored that ridiculous backheel flying kick goal, right? I was there for that. And I met the players. I only got a picture with 3 players. Well, Frank, big. I'd never met Frank before that. I'd met John Terry. I'd met Didier Drogba when Ivory Coast played a friendly in my town years ago. Don't have a photo anymore because that hard drive data got lost, sadly. But anyway, yeah, I met Frank Lampard, then got a picture with Mason Mount and David Luiz as well. Did I take a picture with David Luiz? I did, and he left, and I was fuming. I would go all out for Haaland. Yeah, I agree, Mark. I agree. I thought I was the only Chelsea fan that watches F1. Oh, bro, you're not. Trust me. No, I've been contemplating doing F1 content on here too, but I'm just fearing that it kills my algorithm. Do you know what I mean? If you was to go back to all the Chelsea players, who would you bring back and why? Are we thinking in terms? I'm a bit confused by that comment. Do you mean in that prime? Because then all of Drogba, Lampard, Terry, Ashley Cole, Essien, Makalele. I mean, half of our team's gone there, to be honest. Pretty much everybody's gone, if you think that. And McLaren or Ferrari, who will finish higher in the Constructors' Championship? I think McLaren. Yeah, I think. Who do you like better, Frank Lampard or TT? As a manager, TT. As a human and as everything, Frank Lampard, obviously. I would Chelsea game in Australia. Big up yourself. I mean, with Tammy most likely leaving, Haaland would be great. It would be. Do you watch alpine skiing? Master Hilscher fan. I am, bro. Yeah, Master Hilscher obviously retired now, but I do watch alpine skiing. Big up tomorrow. Downhill for men's and women. Melly is back. Come on, we had a little discussion about you earlier, Melly. I told them that you went to Baku all by yourself and that you slid in the DMs and that, we're having a little chat here. Dammy left like at this point nearly half an hour ago, but we're just having a little chat here. We're having a good time. You've done already. See, Melly met a friend. You're done with that meeting already. That was quick. But yes, exactly what she said. I hope everybody's enjoyed the stream so far. Do you have any friends in Austria support Chelsea? Yeah, loads, bro. Less so in my town, actually. I know one dude, and I don't actually know him properly. But there's a huge Chelsea Supporters Club meeting. Chelsea Supporters Club with 120, 200 members or something, 200 members. I've met up with loads of these guys. Big up. Yeah, her nationality got revealed, everything. No, obviously Lampard because he never got injured. Exactly. Sancho and Haaland swap for Werner and Havertz. No. I'm not taking Sancho over Havertz. No chance. Not behind your back, really. What does 1507 mean? Bro, I'm just born that day. 15th of July. 15th, the dates, and 07 July. You're back home already? It's a madness. All right. Did I? What did we have, Millie? What did we have last time? We had some sort of Indian starter, but I don't think it was Momo's, bro. I don't think it was. I'm sorry. You're the only one I've seen that has hope for Ferrari. They're in the mud, in my opinion. Nah, if you honestly followed preseason a little bit, we're better. The engine has improved. I mean, the times were okay as well. We were faster than AlphaTauri in the long runs on the last day. So, do you know what I mean? Would you consider moving to the UK? Yes. Yes. If London wasn't expensive, but yeah, I would. Like I said, are you not the president of the group? No, I'm not. Don't want to be that. Don't want to have that what's the word? responsibility. There's a lot of work with that. And like I said, when I say hope for Ferrari, I'm not saying we're going to win the title. I'm saying hopefully we're going to fight for third and then come fourth or fifth in the championship. I'll be okay with that. But, now we have Pacoras. That's it. Who's your favorite team except Chelsea? My local club, FC Wacker. Yeah, that's my favorite team. You know, like that. Nothing more to it. Just my local club. Do you try Wigan kebab? No, I've never been to Wigan, bro. So your birthday's on the 15th of July. Yeah, exactly. Pick up yourself, Yusuf. Pick up yourself. If someone has an apartment for us in London, we are on our way. Yeah, exactly. Hey, if anyone has an apartment for us that we don't have to pay rent in, me and Melly be there next week. 57th is 20. I can't talk anymore. 25th of December is your date of birth. Fair enough. But ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm going to wrap it up here. We've been going for 1.5 hours. I had a good time with you guys. A bit of chatting after then we left. I appreciate all of you guys that obviously, you know, got involved, got in the chat. I love it. Preseason testing isn't a reliable source, my guy. Tsunoda 2 in the constructors. What? Yeah, no, of course, preseason isn't a reliable source, but you can see that our engine's better because we're already fast on the straight than we were in the Bahrain race last season. So clearly our engine is better because we're already faster down the straight than we were in an actual race. So it shows you a little something, bro. Who do you think would do better, Sainz or Leclerc? Nah, Charles is clear. I rate Sainz, I like Sainz, but Hamilton, Max, and Leclerc are the top 3 guys. I think Leclerc is maybe just under them two because he has a little less experience. I think him and Max are very level on pace. But obviously, Verstappen has now been in F1 for quite a bit longer than Charles, so that's what he has a little bit over him. But I think Charles will get that. And I think a season like Ferrari had last season, he'll be very good. Are Alpine supposed to be any better this year? I don't think so, bro. I don't think so. They'll be okay. Like, they'll probably be in and around the 5, but I don't think they improved much from last season. Please, bro, how do you pronounce that Austrian team again? Well, in my dialect, which is where we say every CK with a harsh FC Wacker Innsbruck. Yeah, that's that. Lewis is the GOAT. Hey, big up Michael Schumacher. Thanks, Laurenz. Big up Flyers. Come on. I love you guys. Honestly, love you guys. This channel is so underrated. Come on. Ali Reza. Sorry if I butchered your name, but Ali Reza. Science will school him this year. Bro, what? You're off your head. Bro, I will try. I've only, like I said, I've considered many times to make a channel just about F1. Do I talk about F1 here? I don't know yet, but follow me on Twitter. When races happen, I talk about the races on Twitter and my Instagram as well. Follow me. And hey, if you want to talk about it in private, I'm happy to talk to anybody about F1. So just message me on Instagram DM, or Twitter DMs and we'll talk. How old am I? 25. I know I look 10, but I'm 25. That's it. But guys, I really appreciate every single one of you that has tuned in. Subscribe if you haven't already. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers, very close to 9,000 subscribers now. So make sure you subscribe. That'd be massively appreciated. Become a member if you fancy it. There's a join button underneath if you're on desktop, or a link in the description to become a member if you're on your phone. Yeah, appreciate all the super chats. I know Zion isn't here anymore, but big up Zion. What a legend. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Up the Chelsea, and I'll see you next time, but I'll see you tomorrow on the Blues Fans TV watch along, on the Blues Fans TV live review, and on here for the player ratings after Chelsea, Atletico Madrid. I'm excited for it. Chelsea will go through. I still reckon 0-0, maybe 1-1, but we will go through. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Up to Chelsea, and I'll see you. Next time.